We all like to eat, and we talked a little bit about some dessert.
Some of us more than others.
Yeah, we actually started out the show. Let's see.
Yeah, come on.
That's put on some pounds there. I'm sure that's what you meant.
Yes.
Well, we started out the show talking about dessert.
Right.
We had candy.
Right.
But, you know, that's the way I do like to start eating.
Yes.
But you asked,
First things
actually,
first.
Right, you got to talk to the extension office here in Marion County that we'd like to say thank you to for doing cooking segments with us almost every month throughout the year.
Yes.
Trying to help us eat more healthy.
Right.
But what did you do this year with them?
Well, this year we did something a little different. It's a pie we did this year. They had some
Pumpkin pecan.
pumpkin pecan, and it had ginger snaps for the crust on this pie. So
Wow.
and it was also low calorie.
Low cal and low fat.
That's
wasn't it?
right. 138 calories per slice, which is, you might think 138 is a lot, but it's a lot less than most pies.
Yeah, get a
per
pen
slice.
and pencil or pen and paper handy for this one. 'Cause
Yes,
you'll
it's
wanna
a good
write
one.
this down.
Now, did you two get to try this pie?
Yes, we did. I had 2 pieces.
Oh, wow. You must have liked it.
Well, yes.
To put it frankly, yeah.
Word. Well, good. I look forward to trying it maybe too.
Yeah. Yeah.
If I can.
Yes, I think you can.
A
Okay.
leftover or
Yes.
2.
Yeah, we had some leftovers.
Okay. Well, we're going to continue with our dessert. We had the candy and now some more dessert.
Yes.
So this is the extension office doing some holiday cooking here on Channel 6.
Hi, this is Yvonne, and I'm here today with Elizabeth at the Extension office. How are you doing?
I'm doing just fine. How about yourself? A little chilly?
Just a little, you know. I know it's that time of year, and I know we're supposed to expect this, but I'm overwhelmed already.
Yeah, it's hard to take it.
Yes, it is. Well, Elizabeth, it's that time of year again.
It is. It is. Christmas time, New Year's, Thanksgiving we've just had.
That's right. Special occasions, all types of special
That's right.
occasions.
There's
that come
probably
up.
birthdays and anniversaries mixed in there.
Okay, today we're going to make ginger snap pumpkin pecan pie.
That's right. It's kind of a mouthful.
Yes, it is.
And it's another one of these recipes that I know you're probably like, well, that's interesting. Ginger snaps, pumpkin pie, and pecan pie all together.
Yeah, I know ginger is a little spicy, and then
Right.
we've got the pecans, and then we've got pumpkin.
That's right. And we're going to put it all together today.
Now, are you sure, Elizabeth?
Oh, I'm sure.
Okay.
Yes. It is good, I promise. I
Okay.
promise.
Give us some of the ingredients.
Well, I'll just read the ingredients on the list here. So if you have a pen and paper at home, if you'd like to write this down. The ingredients include 12 ginger snap cookies, a half a cup of sugar or Splenda if you're diabetic or if you're trying to cut down on that sugar, 1 low-fat cereal bar, and that can be any kind, 1 tablespoon pumpkin pie spice, 1 15-ounce can of pumpkin, a 12-ounce can of evaporated skim milk, and we're using fat-free milk today, 1/2 a cup of egg whites, and that equals to about 4 large eggs, and you'll see that here in a little bit, and then 2 tablespoons of pecan pieces, excuse me.
Okay. So this looks like quite the recipe.
It is quite the recipe, yes. And I promise that it is just as good as any other pie that, your favorite pie that you have at these holiday get-togethers. This will suffice it, and it is a little bit healthier. And of course, though, when we think of pies and desserts, it's not going to be as healthy as a banana or an apple.
Right.
But we all want those desserts. So if you're going to indulge, try to indulge a little bit healthier in a little bit healthier way. So that's what we're talking about today, is how to make it just a little bit healthier.
Okay. And as far as the calorie count goes here, it's each wedge.
Each slice of this pie has 138 calories, and it kind of sounds like a lot, but if you look at a traditional pumpkin pie has around 283 calories, and a traditional pecan pie has around 219 calories. So that really is a big cut of what it normally would be. And then the same with the fat grams. This pie has 2.5 grams of fat. A traditional pumpkin pie would have 12.1 grams of fat, and then a pecan pie 12.8. So that is really cut down a lot.
Cut down a lot. But is it quick, and does it taste good?
Well, I'll tell you this. If you have never made, or if you've tried to make a pie crust, I've tried before, and now I'm not really the expert on that. I can do it, but I'm not the expert, and it's not really quick. But this, what we're going to use as our pie crust, is easy,
Okay.
and
And
anybody can do it.
It looks like fun, too.
It's fun. It is fun. And one good thing that we'll talk about this here, if you're kind of angry, you know, because we have to smash these cookies
Take
and
out
the
your
bar,
frustrations.
you can take out your frustrations right here.
On your cookies.
That's right.
Okay, let's go ahead and get started.
Okay. Well, the first thing that we're going to do, of course, we have our pie pan here, and I'm just going to spray it real quick.
Okay, we're gonna spray.
With cooking spray. So
Cooking spray, yeah. Just gonna spray that real good. And you know, if you got kids in the family, they can help you with that.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. And if you've noticed, I've put the pie pan on this cookie sheet. And that is just to hold it because, you know, since this is a disposable pie pan, it might not be as sturdy. So that's just to hold it up a little bit. So after we do that, well, actually, before we do that, and I've already done it, we have here, let that roll off. This is the 12 ginger snap cookies and the granola bar. And I have just put this in a plastic bag, and if you have a food processor, you can do that as well. Just put it in and grind it up. But I used my rolling pin here, and I just rolled it like this to crush it. And you have to be careful when you're doing that because you can, see, I see there, you can get little holes in your bag, and that can start to spill out. So you just have to be careful about that. But we have this, so now what we're going to do is dump it into our pie pan, and this is going to be our crust. So this is where the ginger snap part comes in. So I'm just going to pour this in here.
Now this is our 12 cookies that have been pulverized, so to speak.
Whatever method you would like to use.
And pour it into the pan. Okay.
And you can just kind of shake it around, and then I'm just going to kind of press it down. And when you use this method, and I'm sure some people have probably used graham crackers before, you're not going to press it all the way up against the side.
Okay.
And one is because it's too crumbly and it won't stick. So we're just going to press it just about fourth of the way or so up the side. And this is going to be our crust.
Looks good.
It does look good, doesn't it?
And I think I can smell a little bit of the ginger too.
Oh, yeah. Oh, definitely.
Fragrant here.
Yeah, when I was beating those cookies, I could smell it coming out of the little holes in the bag, I guess. So the next is what we're going to do. We're going to slide that over.
Okay.
And we're going to take our bowl here, and we're just going to combine all the other ingredients except for the pecans. Those are going to be for the end, so we'll just set those aside. So we have our pumpkin, can of pumpkin here.
And we're going to add that most or all of these ingredients can be found locally in our local stores. So, and they have sales on these items every now and then.
That's
So,
right,
so that can
yes.
affect the price.
Yes, especially pumpkin. And a lot of times, well, I think it's pretty much normal now that pumpkin, you can only find it during, fall and this time of the year when we have these occasions.
So I'm going to guess that usually means it's pretty fresh, since you can only find it, around this time of the year.
Right, right.
Yeah.
And, of course, pumpkins are still in season right now. Okay, and let's see, just to remind everyone, that was a 15-ounce can of pumpkin, and this is our fat-free evaporated milk.
This is a 12-ounce can of evaporated skim milk.
And I'm going to save these, recycle them. And then it calls for a half a cup of sugar or Splenda, and of course we're using Splenda, so we'll go ahead and put that in.
Now, how do you find cooking with Splenda? Is it pretty simple, or can you tell the difference in the flavor?
I think you can, but it's not a bad different flavor, it's just a different type of sweet.
Okay.
Right, right.
So for any of you out there who haven't tried Splenda, this might be the perfect opportunity.
Right, and if you're diabetic, it's great to use Splenda or any different kind of low-calorie sweetener. And the recipe also calls for a tablespoon of pumpkin pie spice. Well, I didn't have pumpkin pie spice. I wasn't going to buy pumpkin pie spice. So this is what you can do. This is what I did. I just put together, I have cinnamon, allspice, and nutmeg here, and I just put enough in here to where it was a tablespoon. So I just made my own pumpkin pie spice, and I'm just going to pour that in there.
And for that recipe, you can call her here at the extension office, and I'm sure she'll give it to you.
Yes, I will. Okay, so then the last thing is our eggs, and it calls for 4 egg whites. So of course the egg whites is the more healthier part of the egg. All the fat and the cholesterol, most of it is in the yolk. So what we're going to do, and you may have at home a egg yolk separator. And we may have one here, but I just want to show everyone that if you don't have that little gadget, that this is what you can do. You can crack your egg, and I'm going to put my whites in here and my yolks in here, and I'm going to save my yolks so I can cook with them later. So if you do not have a fancy little separator, you can crack your egg like this. You want to try to crack it slightly even down the middle, and then just take off that top and let the white fall out. And then you're going to move your yolk into this eggshell and then into that eggshell, just so it kind of all falls out there. And then when it's all in there, I'm going to put my yolk in that bowl, and I'll use it later. So there's 4 eggs here. I'll see if I can do all of them. It is a lot quicker if you have the little tool. And it's essentially, you know, the same method.
But Grandma didn't have a separator.
No, Grandma, I'm sure didn't.
All of her cakes and pies turned out wonderfully, didn't they?
That's true, that's true.
Yes.
And this is probably exactly how she did it.
Yes.
So, and it just comes right off there.
Well, it looks like you've had quite a bit of experience doing this too, because it's working for you.
Well, I don't know. I haven't had too much experience.
It a couple of times, and it works pretty good as long as I work slowly. You know,
Right.
pay attention and focus. is
That's
what I'm
right.
doing.
Yeah, you can't do it real quick.
No.
But it just slides out of there. And then you have your yolks there. And it does say in the recipe, I believe, a half a cup of egg whites. And if I look here, it's almost exactly on a half a cup.
Okay.
So we'll go ahead and pour that in here. And Yvonne, if you don't mind starting to stir that, since I have eggs on my hands,
I
and I
can stir.
teach food safety also, I'm going to wash my hands. just real
Okay.
quick.
I don't mind at all. Again, I'm going to mention what's in here. We have 1/2 cup of sugar or Splenda, and in our case, we have Splenda. We have, let's see, 1 tablespoon pumpkin pie spice, which she decided to make her own today. And we have 1 15-ounce can of pumpkin. We have a 12-ounce can of evaporated skim milk. And we will have 1/2 cup of egg whites, which is actually 4 eggs, and the whites from them actually equal 1/2 cup. And we've got some pecan pieces laying over there on the side that we're going to use just a little bit later. But it's all going to come together real well. And we already did the crust for the pie.
That's right, yes. The crust is already in here.
Yes.
There it is. And then we're going to pour this in there.
Well, you know, it didn't take a lot of whisking to get
Sure
this.
didn't. No, it looks like it would, though, in the beginning. It looks like it really would take a lot of mixing. But it really doesn't. It really doesn't. And you could just use a spoon even if you didn't have a whisk. And one thing I will tell everyone, and I think it's going to happen again here when I do this, but when this batter makes a little more than this pan. So if you have a little extra, or maybe if you wanted a little bit of a shallower pie, if you liked that, you can either do 2 shallow pies, or you could make a mini pie. You know, they have those little ones.
Yes.
The kids would definitely like those.
Their very own pie.
That's right, that's right. So I'm gonna go ahead and pour this in here.
Now we're pouring the mixture into the pie shell that we've made with the ginger cookies. Wow, you're right, it will overflow.
Yeah, so there is a little bit left.
Uh-huh.
So I'll probably, and it's just enough that I'll bake it in one of those small pie pans, those little ones. So it fills up, and it will bubble just a little bit. See that bubble there? And that's because of the crust that we put in, because of the air that's down in there. So that'll all bubble up. But we are going to put this in the oven at 350 degrees for 30 minutes. And then we are going to put our pecan pieces on top, and we're going to bake it for another 10 minutes. So those bake in.
Again, this is the ginger snap pumpkin pecan pie. And when we come back, we'll have more of this wonderful pie.